look nice. We want to welcome our radio listeners on WOMI. Thank you all so much for tuning in and listening to your Rooster Booster breakfast this morning. Now we'd like to begin with our new chamber members segment. We're going to do 2 of these today because we simply have so many. Beginning with A New Start Owensboro. A New Start is a medically assisted treatment program for opiate addiction. Their best-in-practice program treats the whole person, mind, body, and spirit. They utilize group therapy, Suboxone for physical medicine, and AA-NA 12-step programs. The best-in-practice approach has a success rate of greater than 50%. Please welcome Timothy Dukes from A New Start. Ben's Soft Pretzels. Ben's Soft Pretzels is the fastest growing pretzel franchise in the U.S. and has recently opened its first bakery location in the state of Kentucky. The brand new Ben's Soft Pretzels Bakery is now open inside the newly constructed Meyer store in Owensboro. Famous for their Amish-inspired jumbo soft pretzel and 11 gourmet dipping sauces, Ben's is perfect for snacking on the go or for your next office party. Please welcome Andrea Williams from Ben's Soft Pretzels. Hasgo is your family-owned local environmental restoration and construction company. They've been serving the tri-state since 1984. Hasgo's grown from a small janitorial service into a multi-service company performing daily maintenance, renovation, and contracting services. They are so excited to offer their services in Owensboro and look forward to exceeding your expectations. Please welcome Maria Berry from Hasgo. And Ohio Valley Roofing Company. Ohio Valley Roofing Company takes great pride in the work they do. They specialize in making sure that the customer is unconditionally pleased with the project that they've been contracted to do. They do this by ensuring that the grounds of all their project sites are safe and clean with minimum disturbance to the residents or to the property. I would imagine with the recent hailstorm that we had, this is very timely. Please welcome Andrew Edwards, Matt Edwards, and Adam Patterson from Ohio Valley Roofing Company. And finally, Rehabilitation and Performance Institute, RPI. At RPI, they believe that people are ready for better health care. They spend time one-on-one with patients, listening and developing a relationship. Understanding you as a whole person allows them to help you reach your goals, injury prevention, rehabilitation, or performance, and they're here to serve you. Please welcome Shelley Tyler and Craig Pfeiffer from RPI. Well, we have a lot of special guests here today. And I want to just mention a few of our elected officials who are here with us. Senator Joe Bowen is here. I saw Joe. State Representative Suzanne Miles is here. We have City Commissioner Bob Glenn. I saw Bob earlier. There's Bob. Judge Executive Al Mattingly is here, as well as County Commissioner George Wathen. Sheriff Keith Kane is always perched in his seat in the back. County Attorney Claude Porter is also here with us. And our Davis County PVA Rachel Foster is here. I was in line with Rachel. There she is. And we have a couple of our Owensboro Public School Board members here with us. Dan Griffith and John Blaney are both here. Thank you all for being here and for all you do for our public schools. Well, it's time for us to introduce our Ambassador of the Month, who this month is Chris Arnold of First Security Bank, who will receive a $50 gift certificate to Famous Bistro. Chris, congratulations. I just don't do this every month. We have one other official here with us that I failed to recognize. It's Big Red. Big Red is in the back. And you may say, well, he's not elected to anything. That is incorrect. Big Red elected the most bizarre mascot in the United States, according to an ESPN poll. Revels in that. Big Red revels in that. The Chamber is just killing it with new members. Congratulations. You all are doing a great job. And so some more new members this month. Amy's Fit Island Studio. Amy's studio is more unique than anything offered around the tri-state. Results are guaranteed because of the unbelievable class rotation they offer, from boxing to Zumba and all in between. Amy makes sure every client gets individual attention along with printed report cards each month. When you walk in, the vibe of the place is much like a vacation atmosphere. Amy is so excited to finally make her dream come true in her hometown. Please welcome Amy Payne from Amy's Fit Island Studio. Do I have to bring that report card home to Mom and Dad? All right. Great Harvest on Highway 54. Great Harvest 54 Cafe offers fresh, made-to-order sandwiches and salads constructed with scratch-made breads, dressings, and premium ingredients. Great Harvest serves Pete's Coffee and a full complement of sweets and goodies. So then you can go work that off at Amy's, right? Please welcome Greg Garrett and Alan Hancock from Great Harvest 54. Mighty Men of Valor. Their mission at Mighty Men of Valor is to assist individuals in transitioning their lives back into society as strong, sober, law-abiding citizens in the community. They do this through preaching the gospel and keeping Jesus Christ at the center of their life and understanding that he's their king. Please welcome Adam Patterson from Mighty Men of Valor. And our final new member this month is Owensboro Family Pharmacy. Owensboro Family Pharmacy is a full-service pharmacy that offers disease state counseling, free delivery, compounded medications, drive-through service, 24-hour prescription drop box, immunizations such as flu, shingles, and pneumonia, and specialty packaging. They can synchronize your medications to be due once monthly and use iMedicare to choose the best Medicare plan for you. Please welcome Jessica Mills and Daisy Thomason from Owensboro Family Pharmacy. And how about one more hand for all of our new members that we have this month? Every one of you has made a terrific decision in joining the Chamber. There's so much that's available for you, and we welcome you to the Chamber of Commerce. Well, it's now my honor to introduce our breakfast sponsor, Western Kentucky University Owensboro, and their regional chancellor, Dr. Gene Tice. Gene?
Thank you. Good morning, Owensboro. WKU, the Owensboro campus, is delighted to sponsor this breakfast this morning. Few things I'd like to do. The first thing, I'd like for the WKU Owensboro staff to stand and to be acknowledged. You'll notice all the red that is around here. They have been working hard since yesterday afternoon to do this. It's a tremendous group. I also would like to recognize our Owensboro Campus Advisory Board. If that group would stand, this is a group of leaders in this community from education, businesses, government, the hospital. We're really pleased to have them work with us and provide leadership and guidance for us. Thank you, all of you, for your service. Thank you. This year, we had 275 students graduate from our campus from both the December and spring graduation ceremony. We are extremely pleased, and they're graduating in such programs as organizational leadership, education, social work, business, biology, systems management, just to name a few. And these students who graduate on our campus want to stay in Owensboro and work in this community. So they are your staff members, your family, your friends that are attending and graduating from this program. Our campus is an upper division campus. We teach junior, senior, and graduate students. That means that we have an extensive partnership with our local community colleges, Madisonville, Henderson, and primarily our big player for us is the Owensboro Community and Technical College. So a student can start at one of the community colleges and they can finish with a WKU degree in 4 years. This is a very transferable degree. We work diligently with our partners. As a matter of fact, for the 4 campuses that WKU has, our fastest growing population are the transfer students. We have joint admissions agreements with about 10 different community colleges in the state, and it all really started with the model here that we established in Owensboro. We also have adult students that attend, and many times students will go off to college and something interrupts their college experience. So they're here, they haven't finished their bachelor's degree. They'll come to us, and we have staff, academic advisors, that can work with them and put together a plan for them to bring all the pieces, all the different courses you have, and we'll put together a plan to get you to a bachelor's degree. Or if you already have your bachelor's degree and you're looking to be promoted or want to move up in your organization, maybe you want a master's degree. We have a professional MBA program, and let me change just for a minute. Bob Hatfield, if you would stand, Dr. Hatfield is in charge of WKU's professional MBA program. And if any of you are interested in this program, and Candace just told me she's a graduate of the program, so if any of you are interested, Bob will stay after the breakfast and be willing to talk with you just a little bit. We also, on our campus, focus on executive training for businesses. So all the businesses are here. If you're interested in supervisory training, if you're interested in executive planning, whatever that might be, Sue Perrigan, Sue Stan, Sue is here. She'll help put together a plan. We have worked with Century Aluminum, Kenergy, the hospital. We currently have students working on a leadership certificate program for credit. So there are a lot of opportunities that we have here. So who are our students? I've got one student I'm going to ask to come up and just talk a little bit about her experience as we close. Sarah Bowman, if you would come up, please.
Hi everybody, like he said, my name is Sarah Bowman and I am currently a Bachelor's of Social Work student at the Western Owensboro campus. I will be graduating in May of 2017, fingers crossed. But I have really enjoyed my entire experience at WKUO. They've helped me out tremendously in ways other than just academic. I'm grateful for all of the opportunities that they've allowed me. Being a student there, I've had an opportunity to grow as a student leader with my participation in a nationally recognized leadership retreat, noticed as Leadership. I've also participated in the local Dynamic Leadership Institute, and I really enjoyed that. It did take me 2 semesters to finish it. Sorry, David. But it's been a great program. And also with the small class sizes, I've gotten an opportunity to connect further with my professors and all of the staff. And this has also exposed me to tremendous job opportunities like the one I hold now. I am a peer mentor at the Owensboro Community and Technical College TRIO program. I love it. And I'm one of those students that transferred from OCTC, and we really are amazing whenever it comes to transferring from there, just because they have such a great bond. I love it. I don't know how many times I can say that. I've also had an opportunity to better expand my professional network, and being a 23-year-old, it's very hard to do that because people don't really want to take you seriously. But with this, I've gained a greater knowledge of a professional network in itself, just because I've got to come to all of these experiences and the chamber events and everything like that. Actually, I'm the ambassador for the Social Work Student Union at Western, and so I've got to work and collaborate with a lot of different businesses and corporations out in the community to see how we can better assist them. And then also, I'm really looking forward to completing my Bachelor's of Social Work degree and then going on to my Master's degree, with my ultimate goal being just first graduating with the Bachelor's degree and then obtaining a position in the Public Defender's Office. That's me.
So as Sarah's an example, we want you to hire our students. David Powers is standing right here. David can help. He's looking for internship opportunities to place students. He's also looking to place our graduates. So if you have jobs, you're looking for a bachelor degree candidate, talk to David. Thank you very much. We are proud to sponsor this Rooster Booster today. Thank you.
Well, now to give us our chamber update is the president and CEO of the Greater Owensboro Chamber of Commerce, Candace Brigg.
Good morning, everyone. We have a brief update today of what's going on at the Chamber. First of all, save the date. The Golf Classic is going to be Friday, August the 19th. Sponsorships are available, and we have those available with Jessica Kirk. If you're interested in sponsoring, we'd love to see you. It's a great event, and it's something that we all have a good time getting out and doing fellowship and meeting people and enjoying a beautiful day at the country club. Friday after 5, the night at Friday after 5 for CYP is tomorrow night, and we want for all the CYP to come downtown and enjoy the evening and do a special Chamber Young Professionals night. We actually have launched a new website at the Chamber. It's taken a long time, but we're ready and we're up and running. We want you to visit it, give us any feedback that you'd like to see. We're trying to make it more accessible, to demonstrate the value of your membership, and also to highlight you, our members. We have a great membership directory now. It's very accessible, and it's very slick looking, so it should be good for your business. And we have a lot of people. The traffic is amazing. So please visit that, check it out, and know that it's out there every day giving you referrals. I do want to recognize some staff members that worked very hard on that. Daniel Dino and Elizabeth Griffith, thank you all so much for the work that you did on that. And with regard to our website, and we don't usually do this, but you might know that the Barbecue Festival is up for the #1 barbecue festival in the country by USA Today. That's a big deal. So, next week in our weekly email, we're going to have a link that you will be able to go on and vote live. So please do that, or go on today if you want to go online and check it out. But it will be in our weekly email next week. Please do that. Just another thing for Owensboro to be able to celebrate, and the Barbecue Festival is an amazing festival. It deserves all the recognition we can get. So please watch your weekly email next week. CVB, shout out to you for all you do. Their website has a list of all the awesome events going on in June. It's a very, very busy month as far as tourism is concerned, so get out and participate in some of the great things going on. Our member spotlight this month, June, it's the month of weddings, right? And weddings are a big business for small business. So I'm going to name some of our members that are involved in the wedding business, and if you're here, please stand, and we'll do very quickly, but we just wanted to highlight that and remind you that even things like weddings end up putting so much money back to our local economy, and we make decisions on things like that. It's very important to look at chamber members because they invest in the community. Delicious Desserts, Maggie's Cakes and More, Rolling Pin Pastry Shop, Elizabeth's Wedding and Formal, Owensboro Convention Center, River Park Center, Heinz Center, Bacos Party Rentals, Gary's Fleur de Lis, Welborn Floral Company, Lance & Company Jewelers, Nick T. Arnold, Rogers Jewelers, Brandon Jared Photography, Captured Moments, Dream Copy Photography, Studio 929 Photography, Bella Vita Salon, Changes Salon, Swank Salon, and Limos, because you got to get there. Limos by night. That's not the good news beeper, I don't think, so we're going to move on. June ribbon cuttings, Amy's Fit Island Studios tomorrow at 12:15. Shout out to Amy. And then on June the 4th, the Owensboro Farmer Market is having their official grand opening and ribbon cutting at 10 a.m. Be sure to be there. June 8th, the Owensboro Oilers at 12:15, and June the 10th, Progressive Sports Therapy at 12:15. Those will also be in your weekly email if you need address information, but please get out and celebrate those milestones for our members. That means so much. May renewals are on your Chamber Matters. Make sure you look through that and do business with those folks. You might be in there. And John Conti, thank you so much for the great coffee and all the bright smiles that greet us every monthly Thursday, the Rooster Booster. You guys always get me going for sure. Lastly, I wanted to recognize a couple of people. First of all, I wanted to let you all know that Shelley Nichols, our membership manager, has taken the job as executive director of Oasis. So we wish her the best. We hate to see her go, but we know that the community will be greatly served by her presence, and so will the people at the Spouse Abuse Shelter. Shelley, we'll miss you. And we talk so much about interns and supporting our local colleges, and I want to just make you aware that our local colleges have great internship programs. Some of the kids are paid, some are volunteer, but they just need a foot in the door, and almost all of them are wanting to stay here. Many are from out of the community, and they want to make Owensboro their home, but businesses need to give them a shot and give them a foot in the door, and it's amazing what they can do for an office. They liven it up and do work that you don't necessarily get done throughout the school year. I want to introduce our interns. We do equal opportunity with all the local colleges, by the way. And if you would raise your hand. Rachel, why don't you all walk up here while I'm introducing you. Rachel Fetter, she's from Brescia University. She's from Ohio. She's a volleyball player. She's a junior going into her senior year. Dylan Willoughby, he is going into his junior year at Western as a political science major. He's back for his second summer with the Chamber. And Basil DeVroe, he just graduated from Kentucky Wesleyan College with a degree in business and marketing. He is looking for a job, and he's a great catch. He's from the Bahamas, and he's making the United States his home. So these are our interns this summer, and we encourage you to do the same. And with that, we also have an intern who got a full-time job in the community, Elizabeth Griffith, who is a KWC grad and also a Western Kentucky University MPA grad. She's just taken a job with the Wendell Ford Statesmanship Academy as its executive director. Chief, we're proud of you. Thank you. And with that, I will sit down. Have a great breakfast. And I'll take this.
Okay. Thanks, Candace. And now, in order to really introduce a homecoming of sorts, I guess, as our guest speaker today, to introduce her is your board chair, Adam Hancock.
Thank you all. I'd like to thank Dr. Tice and Western Kentucky Owensboro for sponsoring this morning and being such a big supporter of our community and our chamber. I want to do something different before I start out, and I told him I wouldn't do this, but my brother's here today, Alan Hancock. Alan, if you'd stand for a second. We're going to end this debate right now, and I want everybody to take a vote on who looks older. I'm just kidding. I don't think I want the results of that. Sorry, Alan. Okay. Kelsey Kirkpatrick Starks is an Owensboro native who has worked, in nearly every aspect of television news over the past 15 years. You could say her broadcasting career began at Owensboro High School, where she was in the inaugural class for the district's first television production studio. She went on to earn a bachelor's degree in journalism from the University of Kentucky and a master's degree in journalism from Northwestern University's prestigious Medill School of Journalism. Kelsey has since worked in New York City, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Charleston, South Carolina, and Louisville, Kentucky as producer, reporter, and anchor. She has spent the past 8 years at WHAS TV in Louisville, where she anchored the morning show, Good Morning Kentuckiana. She is also a mother to 3 children, ages 7, 4, and 7 months, and is the daughter of one of Owensboro's biggest stars, Kirk Kirkpatrick, who I'm sure is a very proud father. Please give a big Rooster Booster welcome to Kelsey Kirkpatrick Starks.
I'll lower this a little bit. Thank you, Adam, so much. It is wonderful to be here. This is a homecoming. I'm from Owensboro, and going through here and seeing everybody as I came in today, it was a little bit like this is your life. I've got my family here, friends, I've got teachers who were with me at Owensboro High School, and it's just always a lot of fun to come back, especially to see a lot of the changes that have happened. I was thinking last night how long it's been since I actually lived in Owensboro, and it's been 18 years. So it's now been half of my life that I've lived somewhere else, which is very strange because I always consider Owensboro coming home anytime I get to visit. And since I've been coming home lately, the changes that have happened here are simply amazing. Candace mentioned the barbecue festival, and USA Today. I mean, that's a shoo-in, right? And the best playground in the world. I mean, that's amazing. Unbelievable things are happening here, and so many changes from when I was growing up here. Good changes. And yet Gabe's Tower, still the same. I don't know. Some things never change. But growing up here, my mom was the chamber president for a time when I was younger, so I saw many, many speakers here. My dad, of course, as Adam mentioned, was the Emcee of Rooster Booster forever. And so I got to see a lot of speakers up here as I came, as some of the younger people in the audience were here. I never believed that I would be one of the speakers addressing the crowd, but I am thrilled to be here. One of the things, it is the Summer of Kirk. Have you guys heard this? Okay, well, Dad hasn't let me forget it. He's pulled that card so many times, and it's not even summer yet. So I'm not sure about that. But and I feel a little bit like a piece of Owensboro history because the Good News phone was in my house. I mean, that was our phone that I think Dad decided he needed a prop one day, and you know, the rest is history. But I did work at WHAS in Louisville for the last almost 9 years. And I just recently made a huge decision to leave and not sign another 4-year contract there. So that was a big change in my life, and I decided that I'm going to spend a little more time with my 3 kids at home. So by the end of the day today, though, I'm going to give each one of you all a promotion. Who wants a promotion at work? Okay, I consider staying home with my kids to be a little bit of a promotion myself. So we're going to do that by the end of the day today. And you've heard the saying, life happens while you're making plans. I am a self-professed planner. Anybody else big planner? I like making lists. I will put things on the list that I have already done that day just so I can cross them off. It makes me feel like I actually did something. Anybody else guilty of this? Okay. Whew. Maybe it runs in the family. I don't know. But these days, a few more things seem to be going uncrossed on my lists than they ever did before. I think kids have something to do with that. I was actually going to make a list of all of the amazing experiences I've gotten to do in my career. Luckily, because I just left my job last Wednesday, I didn't have to do that because the good folks at WHAS put together a nice little minute video that shows everything I've been able to do over the past 9 years there at WHAS. So you can take a look at that.
You've probably seen me here at the desk. I anchor the weekend morning shows. Some of these kids are partially visually impaired, others of them completely blind, but all of them can touch and hear, and that's how they're really experiencing the circus. 13 states allow for full coverage for prosthetics.
It's dramatic to see from Sky 11 just how much the river has expanded in the last week.
All these people trying to get some help. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Looking pretty clear, but there are some areas that are still snow covered. The church plans to use the existing old Kroger building. Once you get here, you'll find a little bit of everything. All a pile of debris, belongings that folks have to get rid of. I'd like to thank my parents and all of my colleagues on Broadway for making this happen. My agents, all those who encouraged me.
We're going to take you through each and every one of them. Careful with that.
This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpiece.
Barnstable Brown Party. All right, it is going to be a gorgeous day, and we want to thank you for joining us for this whole week here on the Backside. It's been a lot of fun.
And we want to thank all of our crew members here at
I have been to New York to meet the crew at Good Morning America. I've gotten to go to Broadway shows there to report on them in Louisville. I've had the chance to do a million things that I never, ever would have ever dreamed of. These are some of the, this is fine, you can just let it, you don't need to hear it. These are just some of the highlights though. And so there are a lot of lowlights as well, things that you did not get to see on television. Some of them you did see on television, and that's unfortunate. But those are the unplanned and unscripted moments that, and unscripted moments ended up on television. So we're going to get to a little more of those unplanned and unscripted moments a little bit later. So I do want to start, let's stop this, okay. No, it's fine, really. So that's just a little idea of what I've been able to do over the past 9 years. And that's just the 9 years at WHAS. There were 9 years before that of a career leading up to that that made, there were more lowlights than highlights, let's just say that. So it did all start at Owensboro High School, though, right here. In 1996, I think it was, we were the first high school in the state of Kentucky to have a production studio built in the high school, which was a huge deal. We got TVs put in every classroom. That was something sort of unheard of at that day, and we didn't have the announcements we could do on television now instead of on the loudspeaker like that. So we actually got to do that, and I was thrilled to sign up for a class called video production and be a part of that. So I signed up and decided that I was going to come in early and I was going to stay late and I was going to be a huge part of this video production crew. I did decide, and that really made my decision to go and major in broadcast journalism as I went on to college. And so I had all this experience. I had already done reporting and producing for the high school. I applied to one of the best journalism schools I had found at the University of Georgia, and I was ready to go, and all of my yearbooks signing, see you in Georgia, I'll visit you there, can't wait, and nobody ever visited because I did not get in. So the only letter I got from them was a rejection letter. And so that kind of veered myself off course. If I had planned a little better, maybe I would have gone to Western's journalism school because they're fantastic, but my only backup was the University of Kentucky. So I figured I'd go there for a year and then I'd transfer. I ended up loving it and getting involved in their journalism school, and I spent the rest of my college years there. When I left UK, I talked to a lot of professors and advisors, and they all advised me the same thing. They said, go small. You know, if you want to get ahead in the broadcast industry, you got to start in Paducah, or there are job openings in Hazard right now. You know, these are the places you need to focus. So being 22 years old and a little ambitious and a lot naive, I decided that I should start my career in New York City. So I packed up a month after graduating and moved to Manhattan, and I knew very few people. I got an internship at Court TV, the old Court TV, making $5.50 an hour. And that doesn't go far, but in New York, it really doesn't go anywhere. So luckily, I was able to turn that internship into a job as a production assistant and then an associate producer at Court TV. And so I made my way up. I worked with Nancy Grace there and Savannah Guthrie, who also worked there at Court TV at the time as they were kind of making their way up. So I did a lot of writing for them, and I learned a lot of things during my time in New York. I particularly learned about the importance of mentors. And I want to say this specifically because we have a lot of young people here, how important it is to find a mentor and find someone that you can learn from, and you can learn from their mistakes, and as they make mistakes, you're not going to make the same ones they did. You're going to make mistakes, but that kind of narrows them down a little bit. And if you've been around the block a little bit, find somebody that you can mentor, because it will pay you back tenfold. Find somebody who's new to your company or doesn't know exactly what to do. Tell them the people to avoid. Tell them, you know, the things they need to know to get ahead in the world, because it really does pay off in the long run. I also learned during my time in New York that how to do a mean Nancy Grace impression. It does involve throwing pens at people, so I'm not going to do it here, though. And I also learned how to survive on peanut butter out of a jar for dinner every night. From there, I decided to kind of change course too, because I wanted to focus a little bit more on my reporting career. And I, again, was eating peanut butter out of a jar for dinner to save money. So I got accepted to Northwestern University, as you mentioned, and moved to Chicago. Big decision to go back to school after working for several years in the industry already. I changed course there, and that was another plan of mine that I had never predicted, and went a different way that I had anticipated. I ended up going to Northwestern's Medill School of Journalism, a great journalism school, better than Georgia, I'm just going to add. From there, I had the chance to work in Chicago. I also worked as a political reporter in Washington, D.C. during that time. So I had great experiences, again, that I never would have planned for. From there, I got a job offer to be a producer and a reporter. And I thought long and hard about it because, you know, I had gone back to school in order to be a reporter. I didn't want to be a producer anymore. And one of these news directors convinced me to produce on the weekends and report during the week. And I was hesitant about it, but I took the job mostly because it was in Charleston, South Carolina, and I wanted to live at the beach. So, but it turned out to be one of the best decisions I ever made. And that's because I learned how to do other jobs. So I was a reporter and a producer, and as I moved into being an anchor where I am now, knowing how to do those jobs has paid off tremendously. It's so important that you know the jobs that people are doing around you, just because it makes you better at communicating with them. If you don't know what your employees do, take a day, shadow them. If you don't know what your boss does, take a day, shadow them. You don't know the challenges that they deal with day to day, and it'll help you understand and be a better employee for it. The best bank president is somebody who has been a teller or a loan officer or even a customer. You know, they say you should stay in your own guest room sometimes, just so you kind of know what it's like if the water pressure is bad, if there's not enough lighting, if the bedside table's too low. It's kind of the same thing. You need to know, you have to experience it in order to understand it a lot of times. So that's one of the best things that I learned during my time in Charleston. And it paid off because I got an offer in Louisville. And I wanted to be a little closer to my family. And so if you had told me 10 years prior that I would go back to Kentucky after trying so hard to get out, I would have never believed it. But plans change, priorities change. And I always had wanted to anchor a morning show. That was my goal. I worked nights, I worked weekends, I worked holidays, I missed vacations, all to get to where I was in Louisville. And I was hired to be an anchor of Good Morning Kentuckiana, and I loved it. And I got to do all of those experiences that you saw. But I also learned that getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning, not all it's cracked up to be. Especially when you have 3 kids and your husband's out of town a lot. People always used to ask me, do you get used to that schedule? Do you get used to waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning? And the answer I always tell them is, you get used to being tired all the time, and that's about it. So there are also hazards of waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning. There were instances where I wore 2 right shoes to work one day. Really. They gave me 2 right shoes at the store. I didn't realize when I put them on in the morning, and it was this whole deal. It was caught on Facebook Live, which is something that we do on our TV show. Another thing I would have never planned to be showing people behind the scenes. 2,000 people watch every morning on Facebook now. I also had the great idea of when I realized that the tooth fairy forgot to come to our house in the middle of our show. 2,000 people watching on Facebook Live saw my reaction as well. So these are things I couldn't have planned for because, you know, as you change and adapt to things, I would have never known that something I would be doing would be Facebook or Twitter or all of these things that are part of our jobs now that did not used to be. A mentor told me recently as I was making this big decision about a transition to staying at home, he said to try to plan for the here and now. Try to think about what's best for you and your family and other people who are important to you right now. You can't make plans now for what it means for 5 years down the road, what it means for 10 years down the road, even 1 year down the road, because you never know what's going to happen that's going to derail those plans. And it's hard to make plans now for something that just doesn't exist yet. So as your plans change and as your priorities change, plan for today. You know, change is good, and you have to be able to roll with the punches a little bit. Nobody wants to be Gabe's Tower. Another thing I realized, I heard recently that really stuck with me, somebody said, be the CEO of your own company. Think of work like that. You're the CEO of your company. Your boss is your customer. You provide a service, a product that your customer pays you for. You do want to provide a good product. You do want to provide a good service, something unique that nobody else can, because customers pay more for that. And so that's a way that you can think about yourself, and as you go into work, you know, we get caught up in work being hard work. But if you think of your day-to-day life like that, and your professional life particularly, it really pays off, because your customers do pay more for good service. And you choose how you run your company. You choose what your public relations department is like. You choose how your customer service works. And be ready to adapt to change as it comes to your company. So in true Kirk fashion, I knew I had to include a top 5 list. So I will end with that.
Kelsey, if you just stay up for just a moment. We're so glad to have you back here in Owensboro, even for the day. I know your family and your friends are glad to have you back, and we talk about you a lot because I guess you're our celebrity friend, right? But we do want to leave you with some Owensboro things that are truly Owensboro. So we have, yeah, it is pretty heavy, but you know, there's everything in here from barbecue sauce to Wathen's bourbon to a reminder about Romp. So anyway, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
Finally, you know, we usually close with something lighthearted or a joke, and the last time I closed with some thank you notes that, believe it or not, some people took offense to, because I guess you can't make fun of Donald Trump. I mean, my gosh. But I want to leave on a serious note. This Monday at 12:30 at the Sports Center, we're going to have an honor flight, and this, of course, is Memorial Day week. I want to challenge everybody in this room to be there. You know, the honor flight is exciting to go. It's a great way to honor our veterans. But what really honors them is for them to realize that everyone appreciates the service and the sacrifice that they gave. So 12:30 at the Sports Center. They'll be coming back Wednesday. They'll be at Owensboro Christian Church, and there'll be a reception there. So if you could come to one or both of those, it would mean the world to those veterans, I know. So if you could be there, I challenge everyone in this room, everyone listening on WOMI, to take a moment out of your day and respect what they provided for you. So as we close this week, we leave with that thought. Thank you all so much for being here.